Did you know that fall is actually the best time to plant your shrubs? Join me as I plant some of these gorgeous new French vanilla perennial hibiscus. Stay tuned. Friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and today I am excited to share with you a brand new shrub that is going to be introduced from Proven Winners in the spring of 2021. Our friends at Walter's Gardens were kind enough to share these gorgeous shrubs with us so that we could trial them this summer and see how we liked them. Well, guess what? We love them. They have turned out fantastic. What am I talking about? I am talking about the newest addition to the Summerific Hibiscus series, French Vanilla. French Vanilla is going to be a new color introduction to the line because it is actually in the yellow family. It is a nice, creamy, buttery yellow that has a nice red center. Now, neat little fact about French Vanilla. For you folks who are in the colder climates, it is going to be a more yellow flower for you than for us folks in the south. In the hotter climates, it is going to be more of a white. Now, who can grow this French vanilla? Just about anybody, because they are hardy in zones 4 to 9. I know that we have talked about this Summerific series of hibiscus before, and I have had lots of people say, Jenny, really? Can they survive North Carolina winters? I've never had a hibiscus survive the winter. Well, the difference is because they have been planting tropical hibiscus. Those are not going to survive their winters here. But these hardy hibiscus absolutely will survive in our zone 7B climate. Again, they are hardy to zone 4, which is extremely cold. We're talking about getting close to Canada. So they have no problem surviving here. I love French vanilla first and foremost because it's just a beautiful flower. They are non-stop bloomers beginning in midsummer all the way through the fall. They are going to be about 3.5 to 4 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. So what we're doing here is we have 5 of them, and we are going to plant them interspersed between our Formosa azaleas. So this area has been a little, I wouldn't say problematic, but it's been a little bit of a slow grower because we didn't always have this space on irrigation. So these azaleas have been kind of slow, and Jerry in fact was like, if these azaleas don't start performing, they're out of here. Well, we got them on irrigation and they are covered in new growth. So I have high hopes for them this spring. But these French vanillas will work perfectly in here because French vanilla hibiscus, along with all the Summerific hibiscus, are going to be some of the last things to emerge from your garden. So don't freak out if, you know, they're not going to even come out of dormancy until, for us here in the south, late April into May. My azaleas are going to be blooming before that. So the azaleas will be putting on their show, all their glory, you know, typically around Easter time. Once they start to be done, then the French vanillas are going to come out of dormancy. They are rapid growers. They can easily grow at least like 1 inch a day. Then they're going to start blooming again, like I said, from midsummer into fall. My azaleas will give them a gorgeous background because they're going to be that nice dark green. And then you have these full blooms of the French vanilla. So they are just a fantastic new addition, new color to the Summerific series. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys planted and in the ground because actually the fall is one of the perfect times to plant your perennials and your shrubs and your trees in the ground because their roots will have plenty of time to get established before the real heat of the summer hits. So if you think, is it too late for me to plant? No, it's not too late. We're finally getting into like the optimal time for you to plant these great perennials, shrubs, and trees. So don't fret. You have still got plenty of time to get these guys in the ground. So we're going to show you exactly what to do and how to plant a shrub. bit of how to plant a perennial shrub 101. When you're planting these guys, you want to make sure that your hole is wider than your container, but not really a whole lot deeper. And you will notice that we are here with our gorgeous, lovely North Carolina red clay. The first hibiscus, hole dug great. The other one, it's like digging in concrete. This guy down here, not so bad. So I stuck Jerry with the problem hole. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the Espoma Biotone fertilizer. We love Biotone because it is a fertilizer specifically to enhance the root growth of your plants. So it has the mycorrhiza fungi in it, which is a great natural occurring substance, fungus, that really opens up the roots and allows them to bring in more oxygen, more water, and more nutrients. So we're going to use that in the hole. Now, I will tell you, it does have a lovely smell. It's all right. Just imagine it being the smell of your plants being happy and growing. Now, again, you do not want your hole too deep, especially for us. And with this red clay, the red clay is great because it holds the nutrients, but it can also hold a lot of water. So you do not want to put your shrubs in too low, because one of the fastest ways to kill your perennials, trees, and shrubs is planting them too deep, too much water, and they actually drown. So for our red clay, we actually recommend you plant them with your root ball just slightly above the soil level. So you can tell, I mean, look at this. This is red, hard clay. We actually got 3 inches of rain last night. So this ground is nice and damp. So it's nice and cloddy. Also, when you're planting your shrubs, again, especially with this clay soil, you do not want to amend the hole with compost. You want to use as much of your native soil as possible, because it can happen. It's called the bathtub effect. And essentially what it is that when you amend the soil, let's say we put a bunch of compost or a bunch of potting soil in this hole, that is going to soak up the water a whole lot faster than what the surrounding red clay can absorb. So that water is going to pool and be in that hole and just soak up and hold all of that water. We don't want that. We want to have a nice even distribution of our water, because if it holds the water and it sits in water, your roots are going to rot. And we don't want rotty roots, because if we have rotting roots, we have a dead plant. So I'm just backfilling here with some mulch. You will see right here, this is not my friend Blackie. This is actually an irrigation tube. So we do have irrigation in this bed because in the summertime, this area absolutely bakes in the late afternoon sun. So right now, I'm not going to put this on irrigation because we're going into fall, winter, really rainy months. In the spring, I can come back, tap in an irrigation line, put it right here on the roots, and so in this hot of the summer, she'll have water. But right now, I'm not going to worry about it because, whoo, we's hot. We're ready to get these babies in the ground. So they're nice and snuggled in. Moving on. Jerry is not a gardener to mess around. He likes to get the job done and get out. So he's a great help in the garden. know if you've ever heard the saying that Southern women, they don't sweat, they just glisten and sparkle. Well, I'm glistening and sparkling right now. Woo! It may be September, but it's hotter than heck and the humidity is higher than I don't know what. Okay, so what Jerry's gonna do behind me is we recently got some bags of the Espoma Land and Sea compost, and there was a bag that was busted. It's like, oh, what to do? So this is fantastic to top dress around your shrubs and perennials. So what he is doing is simply taking that compost, and remember, like I said, you don't want to mix it in just to the hole because that could create that bathtub effect. So what he's doing is what we call top dressing. He is just simply going around the top of the shrub in where the mulch is and putting that compost down because it has all those great minerals and nutrients and all that fantastic stuff in there that is really just food for these plants. So even just by top dressing, mixing it into the mulch, it will leach down to those roots and they will become very happy. So you don't have to amend just the hole. In fact, don't do that if you have the clay soil. Just top dress your whole bed and you can work it into those first couple inches of your native soil and you'll see just amazing, fantastic results. And if you do that on a continual basis, like twice a year, spring and then late fall, you will be amazed at how fast you see your soil improving its conditions, how many earthworms you get, and just how happy your plants are going to be in general. But here we have these 5 French Vanilla Summerific Hibiscus that are in the ground. They are clearly still just going strong, and it is September. We're going to enjoy this space so much, I know, for the rest of this fall and then for years to come, because this bed is in the front of our house and we sit on our front porch all the time, and we will be able to see these beauties whenever we are sitting there and whenever we drive up. So remember, it's never too early or too late to be thinking about next year's garden. So hopefully you have found this informative, a little inspirational. Maybe hopefully you've learned some things. Y'all have a great day. If you've enjoyed this video, found it helpful, please subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. Join our family. We'll see y'all next time. Have a great day. Bye, friends. All right, little side note here. You saw me use 2 different types of fertilizer. One was the biotone. That is because we are just now planting these shrubs. So this is a brand new planting. Whenever you plant your perennials, your shrubs, and your trees, you want to use biotone because remember, that is a fertilizer for the roots. That will help your roots grow nice and strong, not the top foliage of your plant. So number 1, you can use that anytime you plant your perennials, trees, and shrubs year round. 2, the compost. So this was just an extra additive to help amend our soil. It is not necessarily a fertilizer per se. In the fall is not when you want to fertilize your perennials, shrubs, trees, because all those traditional fertilizers that you would be adding are going to encourage new top growth. And we are getting ready to go into these cooler months of the season. Pretty soon we'll have a frost, then we're going to have a freeze. We don't want a whole lot of new top growth, we want root growth. So fall is not the time to add traditional fertilizers to these plants. That is for the springtime, because in the spring, when they're waking up from their winter slumber, that's when we want all the new top growth. So just keep that in mind. Fertilize in the spring, not in the fall.